In the church, the beautiful bride was blessed by her relatives and friends. She slowly walked to the groom. The priest was doing rituals for their bond. The two people with unspeakable joy didn't know on the second floor of the church, a girl was performing a spell. The girl sprinkled the salt in the bottle beside her, then she hurriedly cast the spell. The first candle is my soul, the second one is yours. Let our souls intertwine. Then she wounded the two candles. You are only loyal to me. We will never be separated. The girl lit the candle. Then she tore open the small bandage. A drop of blood from the healed palm fell on the white cloth. The girl lit the white cloth and threw it aside. She ate the prepared raw meat. The bride and groom were wearing wedding rings to each other. The girl on the second floor only felt a sharp pain in her abdomen. The bride in the hall also shed blood. Don't get lost. Watch the film and drink juices. Hello, everyone. I'm Harry. This is the latest Russian horror film in 2021, Dark Spell. Let's start. The bride wiped off the blood. The wedding continued as usual. Zhenya had severe abdominal pain. She fainted in front of everyone's eyes. The groom came forward to check on her and left the bride alone. In the hospital, Sonia talked to a stranger on the bench. Why did she have to come and ruin my wedding? Zhenya worked in a wedding dress shop. Sonia was renting the wedding dress at her shop. The two met each other. Zhenya slowly woke up in the hospital. She opened her eyes and saw the doctor. The doctor was Victor at today's wedding. Zhenya was very guilty. She apologized for ruining his wedding. Victor comforted her not to think about her illness. He then left her and went out looking for Sonia in the corridor. There was a strange noise in the next room. Victor opened the door curiously. Sonia was inside the room. She was having an argument with a man in the room. It rained heavily in the evening. The lights in the hospital corridor suddenly went out. Zhenya lied in bed. The window was blown open and she went down to close it. Her boyfriend was all wet, quietly entering the room. Zhenya just asked him, "What are you doing here?" Zhenya's boyfriend was an amorous artist. Though he and Zhenya were not married, they had a baby girl together. Just the day before, in his studio, Zhenya accidentally found out that he had an affair with a female model. Zhenya caught them in bed. She left angrily. She thought her boyfriend would explain to her the next day, but she didn't expect that he chose the female model and broke up with her. She was very upset. Unwilling to break up with him, she found the local witch. The witch also promised to teach her a spell that would make her boyfriend stay with her forever. The witch reminded Zhenya at last before she taught her the spell. Once the devil is awakened, it will feed on truth. Make sure you really love your boyfriend. Otherwise, you will be doomed. Zhenya was ecstatic. Zhenya didn't back down her intention after hearing it. Keir standing at the door was different from before. He said he was crazy about her and required her to come back. Zhenya was ecstatic. It was a happy day for two after the reception. Keir, the unruly boyfriend who used to be romantic, instantly became a clingy little dog. He didn't want to separate from Zhenya. That day, Zhenya went to her mother's house with her boyfriend to pick up the baby. Keir hoped Zhenya could stay with him more. One day, Zhenya's mother came to help them take care of their daughter. After Zhenya left, Keir showed a serious face. He said fiercely, "You're disturbing us." Zhenya's mom widened her eyes in surprise. Sonia came to the wedding dress shop and left after a big argument. Victor divorced her. The lost Zhenya stayed alone in the workshop. Keir called again. Zhenya hung up impatiently. She hated him. Suddenly, she felt a sharp pain in her abdomen. When the pain eased gradually, she heard someone's crying. Looming in the open workshop, she searched for the sound. A woman in a wedding dress in the pile of clothes turned around and grabbed her. Thanks to Victor's timely appearance, the woman disappeared immediately. He was here to pay back the wedding suit. Zhenya saw Victor. She forgot her unhappiness in an instant. She entangled with Keir and talked to Victor. Since Victor came to the wedding dress shop for the first time, Zhenya fell in love with him. This was Zhenya, who cast a spell at his wedding. Chatting about her emotions, suddenly, she felt another sharp pain in her abdomen. Victor was about to take her to the hospital. They hadn't gotten on the cab yet. Keir came out of nowhere, fighting with Victor. He felt the threat from this man. That night, Keir took her home. Keir asked his mother for a ring and announced that he would marry Zhenya. His parents didn't like Zhenya at all. His mother was very disdainful. She touched the ring in her hand and said spiritually, "This ring is a family heirloom. I could only leave it to a person that's worth it." After that, Keir walked forward without saying anything, picking up the scissors. When Keir was ready to put the bloody ring on Zhenya's hand, she was aware of his extra obsession. It was too late to fix it. She ran to the door in a panic. Keir looked at her. When waking up, she found herself in the bathtub in Keir's studio. She was covered with clay for sculpture. Keir on the side was treating their baby in the same way. This was exactly what we need to make living statues. Zhenya's hands and feet broke out of the clay. She knocked out Keir, then picked up the baby and ran away. She happened to meet a police officer by the roadside. Keir chased after her on a motorcycle, crazily knocking on the glass, forcing the officer to stop. Fortunately, the construction section ahead was narrow, only one car could pass. They got rid of Keir's entanglement. Zhenya came to Victor's house to ask for his help. It seemed that she must belong to him. Victor did not reject her, welcoming them to stay for a few days. In the hospital, Victor accepted a body, who died in a traffic accident. When he opened the cover, he was shocked. It was Keir. He informed Zhenya. Last night's chase eventually led him to death. Zhenya begged for Keir's forgiveness. She was angry for a moment, but she actually put down the spell. And then she found that she didn't love him as much as she thought. Keir's cold hand caught her and took her with him in the freezer. Zhenya in the freezer shouted for help. Keir got up panting. Just as he was about to catch her, the iron door of the freezer was opened. It seemed that the devil was awakened and Zhenya had made a big mistake. She deceived the devil. The devil began to take revenge on her. Zhenya wanted to get rid of all these consequences. She was looking forward to a happy life in the future. She told Victor the whole truth. She didn't expect that Victor not only didn't blame her but also willing to help her deal with her trouble. They found the witch for help. The witch was angry when she learned that Zhenya deceived the devil. Her ability was limited. She couldn't help them. The two walked out disappointedly. They met the witch's mother. She knew that they would come to break the curse. She told him to solve the problem. There was only one way to do it. That was to reverse Zhenya's operation on the wedding day. She had to do it again, completely separating the two twined candles. They came to the church to prepare for reverse operation, breaking the curse. But when she separated the two candles, her hands and feet were controlled by the devil and couldn't move. Sonia, who came to help at this time, was possessed by the devil. She lit two twining candles. She smiled and announced that all the reverse operations just now were invalid. She caught Victor and attacked him. The old witch used a spell to force out the possessed devil. Her wand was taken away by the devil and broken in two. Half of the wand was destroyed by the devil and pierced through her. All of them held Sonia down for a long time. Though they succeeded in exorcising the devil wasn't destroyed completely. The devil took Zhenya's mother and baby away. Zhenya and Victor hurried to Keir's studio. At this time, Keir had become a movable humanoid statue. Victor couldn't compare to him. The strongest move he could make was smashing Keir in the head with a stone. Keir held his head. Then he wanted to strangle Victor to death. Zhenya also realized her destiny. She had made up her mind. Even being killed, she had to finish it herself. She shouted to Keir, "I promise to stay with you forever. Let him go." Then Keir disappeared. Zhenya kissed Victor for the last time. She came to the tub full of clay. At the end of the film, she drowned in the bathtub. This movie satirizes the woman's sickening behavior. She clearly knew her boyfriend didn't love her anymore, but she still forced him to be with her. But when he came back to her, she hated him, trying to get rid of him. For her sake, she was willing to destroy another girl's wedding. She did all kinds of wrongdoings, but finally, she got nothing at all. It's such a sad story. At the end of the day, you get what you deserve. It's just fair. I'm Harry. Thank you for your attention. Don't forget to pay attention to my videos. Your support had always been the driving force of my efforts. I'll see you next time.